everyone. Welcome to the April 13th. Wow, I can't believe it's April 13th already. April 13th episode of the Natdaddy Weekly Roundup, where we go over the new books for the week and review a handful of them. I think we got a pretty decent amount this week. Got a good selection of what's new, a little different, something hopefully everybody will like. But before we jump into that, let's thank the people that make this show sponsible. Haha, responsible by being sponsors. We have the 204 Comics guys, Ashley and Bobby over at 204 Comics. Great group of guys. If you're in the Winnipeg area or local to the Winnipeg area, definitely check them out. Great books, great prices, and all these new stuff coming in. And for the pull list stuff too, like they use the League of Geeks website, connects to their store. If you get on that pull list there, you won't miss out on stuff that is hard to get when it does come out. Like last week, that crazy Spider-Man spoiler variant. Nobody ordered it. I ordered it because I knew what was coming up, and I used the League of Geeks and the 204 pull system there and got my books. Also, we have the Primos live wrestling events. Big events going on with them this weekend. 14th, 15th, and 16th. We'll go into that a little bit more. Actually, why not go into it right now? So we have coming up for them on the 14th, 15th, and 16th. We have on Friday, we're going to be in Toulon, so I will be at that show, and I will be at the show on Ashern on the 15th. So if you're in the Toulon or in the Ashern area on Friday or Saturday, do come check out some live pro wrestling with the Primos Wrestling Group there. I'll be there as well too, probably working a little bit behind the scenes, maybe be involved in the show a little bit, but definitely there selling my Natdaddy wares. And also on the Sunday on the 16th, of April, they will be out in Flin Flon. Won't be at that one. That one's a little too far of a distance to make for the one day for me. But I'll definitely be at these two. And like I said, with us being there, you can hopefully pick up, if you're interested, one of our exclusives. So we have our exclusive covers here. I'm going to bring along a few other goodies as well too. But hope to see you there. And if not, I'm going to try and film a bunch of stuff. So maybe do some live stuff and definitely have some video stuff. But that will show up definitely on the wrestling show that I have yet to start, but going to have right away. Also, like I said, we have the 204 guys as the other sponsors of the show. So we help with them, work on some projects, and one of the things we do is the covers of the week. I can never pick just one cover of the week. If I do it, it's very rare. This week, this is what I got. 3 different covers there. The far left one here is the Turtles Usagi Yojimbo team up one here. Kind of has a retro Nintendo video game cover, so that's pretty cool. One in the middle there, again, same issue, just a different cover. This is an Inyuk Lee variant. Awesome fight scene there, Raphael going against Usagi. And then the one on the end here, we have the classic Frank Frazetta picture of the alien crucifixion. Classic, awesome picture by an awesome artist. I'll go into a little bit more about this cover later on. Also like to mention, coming up in May, just over a month from now actually, a month tomorrow, will be the 14th of May. Chip Zdarsky will be stopping at 204 Comics, part of his Cross Canada tour, his only stop in Winnipeg. He's going to be there signing some books in that. Do check it out. He's going to be there promoting his 3 newest books. The public domain graphic novel that is put together from the series. The Batman Failsafe, same thing as well too. And also, I forget what the third one is now. What's the third one? I have it and I forget. Can't remember, but definitely check that out on the 14th if you're in the Winnipeg area and you're a fan of Chip Zdarsky. Alright, let's get into some book reviews now. First one of the week is, we have a new volume of Guardians of the Galaxy starting up. Very appropriate because last week they dropped the new trailer for the Volume 3 of the movie coming out, which is coming up pretty soon. Looks interesting. It's going to be the last movie apparently of the Guardians and that, so see how that goes. Typical series from Guardians of the Galaxy. You have this new world-ending threat that seems to kind of be working its way through the galaxy from world to world, kind of spreading infection-wise, and it turns out to be Grootfall. And Grootfall is kind of like this, looks like a combination of Groot and some kind of this world-devouring, um, super, I guess like super evolving vegetation thing. So kind of neat there too. So if you're a fan of the Guardians, definitely check this one out. Next on our list, also from Marvel this week, a part of their Star Wars tag. This is Ewoks, again falling under the 40th anniversary of the Return of the Jedi. Can't believe I'm saying that, 40 years of Return of the Jedi. That's crazy. But we have Ewoks here. This is a 3 stories, kind of like an anthology series, all with separate art. So each story has a separate art and storyteller. All the stories are tied together by some of the older Ewoks, the chiefs and elders, and that kind of getting around and telling campfire stories to some of the Ewoks, younger Ewoks. But there is no words in this story, in this book. It is speechless because the Ewoks don't talk. So everything is done with strictly speechless. Pretty neat. So great for all ages, especially for kids in that. Next on our list, from DC, we have Superboy, the Man of Tomorrow, by Porter and Lindsay. I enjoyed this book. Again, this is part of that new dawn of DC where they're taking a lot of the younger heroes and kind of just kind of revamping them, or no, not necessarily revamping them, but focusing on them, giving them some a little bit more powers or some new backstories in that. Um, yeah, and this is Superboy. So Connor Kent here. He feels the need to leave Earth to kind of stand out. He feels like he's not really wanted or needed on Earth. There's lots of other, Superman or Superman team people there covering all the disasters. So he teleports over to a planet far away where they're under invasion, and he starts there to go and help them in that. And I like the story; it's a good start. Although I don't know if this book was actually supposed to be out till next week or not, because I saw one place that didn't have it out yet, and I still managed to find it at another when I was reading it online this one because I wasn't planning on buying it. So I don't know. Maybe it's out, maybe it's not, but a good start so far. Next, going back to those awesome turtle covers that we picked out for the covers of the week, we have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Usagi Yojimbo teaming up in a miniseries called Where When. This is probably my most anticipated book of the week because I'm a fan of both of these, and I always enjoy when Stan Sakai does his renderings or his interpretations of the Ninja Turtles there. And you can see on the cover there, that's what his Ninja Turtles look like. Fun book, right? So fun and so simple, much like a lot of the Usagi stuff is. The turtles get sent back in time to a time where samurais are in this big war, and Usagi and a few of his friends or comrades have kind of stepped away from the main war to deal with these. I guess they call them these river monsters, but actually kind of look like turtles, and they do slay one of them in that, and the turtles pop up around the same time and kind of get mixed up in that as well. So your classic heroes mistaking each other as enemies at first, and eventually they're going to, I guess, team up to fight this evil samurai that they're all kind of banding towards or this evil emperor they're all kind of banding towards at this time period. So yeah, fun. All right. We have giant cockju from Image, and this is from Dugan and Koblish. These are the team that brings you Deadpool, so a lot of tongue-in-cheek humor here. Very, very gross humor, some of it. Like I said, very, very funny but disgusting. So you have this giant kaiju monster that's come out of the oceans to attack and destroy a city. Yeah, because of climate control and that, this is all kind of causing these monsters to come out, and a team is kind of put together to go against these monsters and that. But it's super gross. Like I said, the monsters, instead of like shooting fire out of their mouth and that, it kind of is like explosive diarrhea, and at one point he's trying to hump everything around that he can see. So he's like actually screwing buildings and destroying things like that. So yeah, definitely adult and risque, and that very very. You can definitely recognize the Deadpool creative team humor behind it, but I also enjoyed it quite a bit, and Koblish's art is always a joy to look at. So next, we have from Dark Horse Comics. Another book I've been looking forward to for a little while, just because it just seems so so silly, but I also see it becoming I don't know a streaming property of something or a movie of some sorts very soon. Um, I'm sure it'll happen. This is the Great British Bump Off, and it's kind of a takeoff on a murder mystery that happens at a reality baking contest type of thing, reality TV baking contest. Lots of fun here. It's by Allison and Saren doing the art here. Um, yeah, you got a bakery survivor type of show where all these different people are thrown together, all these different types of people in that, and right away one of these contestants dies. So you kind of have this clue type murder mystery going on, trying to be solved by this young, quirky student type contestant that, yeah, we'll see where it goes. Kind of funny. I enjoyed it so far. Next, always have to have one of these on my show, just because I don't think Archie gets enough recognition in comics and that. They're always meaningful. They're always bringing things to light like public and political stuff and that. But what I like about this issue from Archie Jumbo Comics 339, and not only just because it has this cool Dan Parent cover, again one of my favorite artists, is the fact that in this story here, there are two new stories of the characters from the superhero Archie universe, which is they're starting to do more and more lately. The last few months, they've had a few new stories in each of these kind of digests and that. A few new characters been introduced, just some new stories expanding and reintroducing some of the older characters in that. I always enjoyed the Archie kind of superheroes when I was younger and that. They were always kind of silly and not too serious in that. And that's what these are too. But I do like the idea of them kind of introducing them and building on that. So maybe we'll see more of those in the future. Definitely looks like it. Yeah, check it out. From American Mythology Productions, we have Legend Fell. So most of the time from this American Mythology Production so far, they've been doing kind of supernatural and horror themed stuff. Now they jump into the fantasy type of stuff, kind of your D&D type of things, and that's exactly what this is. It's a great D&D type story with some horror and thriller stuff thrown in there. Yeah, pretty fun actually. You got this dead that are coming to life and they're taking over this kingdom, and the only thing keeping this kingdom safe is this amulet. And then you have this band of people who are kind of thrown together. Again, very D&D type, all these different types in that, and they're gonna have to try and solve this crisis. So I did like the art in here, and the story itself is pretty cool. So check this out if you happen to be a fan of any of that. Another one of my favorite books of the week, and one I've been anticipating for a while. Nothing too spectacular about this book. There's nothing, no first appearances, or it's not the start of a new series or anything. It's issue 2 from Aftershock of Maniac of New York. Third volume of that character. It's called Don't Call It a Comeback by Elliot Kahn and Andrea Moody. This time in this volume, the Maniac Harry character has been killed at the end of the last series. He's kind of this Jason, well, he's pretty much exactly like this Jason type character from Friday the 13th. But in the beginning of this issue 1, his body somehow in the morgue, his spirit was transferred into this other lady corpse there, and now she's Maniac Mary. So she's out there in the city patrolling and killing. Not just criminals, but she's killing like homeless people and that. She's kind of cleaning up the streets in like this horrible way. So half the public is cheering for this, and the other half is not. So again, we got the original team back there trying to stop her in that. We find out a little bit more that what has caused all this is this amulet that looks very similar to the masks that they wear. So lots going on here. A lot of fun. Definitely not for kids. Super gory, and as a slasher movie would be from the 80s and 90s and that, but different because it has that Andrea Moody watercolor work to it. So very awesome in that sense too. And next week, watch out. There'll definitely be either a show or a posting separate in that. We're expecting a package in the mail from Andre Moody. We had sent him a lot of stuff to get signed because we've worked with him in the past before, but probably getting close to a year ago now. It's finally on its way back, and he said there's going to be a surprise in there for us. So we will definitely show you what's in there because he's awesome. From Bad Kiss Press, we have Katie Black Dragon. This is a fun book. It is how would I say it? It is really a small indie publication, and you can tell that it's very bare bones in the art and in the story, but it all goes very smoothly, and yeah, and I liked it very much actually. It's you have this it sounds so ridiculous, but you have this divorced housewife who's traded in all her money and all her life and that to get these cybernetic enhancements, and now she's this novice body hunter or bounty hunter, if you want to call it that. So she's out there taking these silly jobs and that, and it's pretty funny and that. But like I said, it is very small press. But it is enjoyable. So that's one of the things I like on this show, that you can start off small and still have an enjoyable comic, and that's what this is. From Torres and Gorman. So that's pretty awesome. From Boom Studios, we have The Seasons Have Teeth here. From Dan Waters, which is one of my, I quite like his work in that, and Carol doing the artwork here. So what's going on in this book here is you have this cool story art for one thing, and you got this during the change of season, especially in the spring, it seems to attract these monsters that seem to come with the season and that, and towns get evacuated from the path of these monsters. This old photographer guy stays behind kind of to document it. He's I don't know if he's retired or not, but he's a conflict reporter, so he used to travel to wars and that to document in that. So he's used to that. But he seems to be kind of going through some like these depression or almost kind of suicidal thoughts. Seems like his wife has passed recently, whether it was through an accident or through sickness and that, we don't know. He just seems to be very down about that, and he keeps reliving flashbacks and that while he's going through town waiting for this event to happen. Before the monster gets there, it seems like this vegetation kind of grows out of control and just starts kind of showing up and overtaking everything, and then the monster does show up, and he does start being able to maybe document that, but will he survive all this? We don't know. So interesting. Boom does a lot of neat stuff like this, and House of Slaughter, and Something's Killing the Children, where it's just stuff that's really different, but it seems to work. All right, next, from Mad Cave Studios, and we briefly touched on this book a few weeks ago because we were actually at 204 Comics was lucky enough for us to get the preview copy, or what they call Ashcan, of this one, and it's Exorcists Never Die by Steve Orlando and Ruiz doing the art. Sorry, Steve Orlando and Perez doing the art in here. I like this one. You got two exorcist combatants, and they're like these warriors, these exorcist warriors, and they are former lovers, and they've had to team up now to go deal with the seven sins as they descend the levels through hell, to deal with how there seems to be like this giant auction of souls going on that they're going to go and disrupt, and that to make sure save all these people. So lots of fun here. A great art. I quite liked it. They're warriors, and like I said, exorcist warriors, in the sense that they don't, they're like monks, I would almost say, like in D&D sense, where they channel energies in that. So they channel the energies from different types of angels in that. So it's almost like, call upon the power of this angel, and they, you know, channel that, and kind of fun as they fight through the seven sins there. So neat, lots of fun. Definitely not for kids. Yeah, I enjoyed this. Again, another thing could definitely be seen turned into some kind of entertainment property. Our third book from the covers of the week category was the Frank Franzetta's Tales of Science and Fantasy. So what Opus has been doing with all these Frank Franzetta titles is that they've been taking some of his classic masterpieces from the past, like the one we have on the side here, the Crucified Alien, and they've been expanding those and making stories and universes based on those pictures. So that painting there on the side was always called the Crucified Alien. So now they've taken a story about that character and kind of, you know, evolved that a little bit more. So this in this title, the Tales of Science Fantasy, it's going to come out quarterly, and this first one happens to have a story based on, like I said, that alien crucifixion piece, and it's got this. He's a four-armed dictator, and they call him the Duce, or the Duke almost. And the last few days of him being in power, enemies and allies are after him in that. So pretty neat story there too. From Blood Moon Comics, we have Hone of Orcs. Neat little story here from Tipton and Ruiz. Um, Fun book in the sense that you know, the whole elves versus orcs war has been going on for centuries, if not millenniums, and this kind of young female orc named Hone has been stuck in the middle of it, and she kind of goes through the whole Joan of Arc flavor process to become this adult ultimate warrior type thing for the orcs, and she's kind of going to end this war in that. So most of it's done in flashback and a retelling of her, you know, growing up and her, I guess, training to become this ultimate warrior type of thing, like Joan of Arc or Hone of the Orcs. And it's neat because it's done in this, like you can see in the bottom half of the cover there, it's done in this brown scale tone. So instead of being black and white and grays, it's all brown and black and white. And so really interesting there. So and a fair sized book for the price tag as well too. So we've covered a few Blood Moon comics over the last couple of months, and yeah, I've liked most of them. This one was definitely the most polished that I seem to remember. From Marvel this week, we have Marvel Voices the Spider-Verse. So being this is a one shot, and again it's the large jumbo size, so it is a little bit more in that. So we got a few stories in here. I think it's 3 stories of the Marvel Spider-Verse, and again that movie will be coming out soon, really soon actually. And I started seeing some of the toys around for that, and they look pretty cool too. So definitely watch for those if you're a Marvel Spider-Verse fan, and all the different Spider-Mans that have, you know, spun out from there, which is a ton of that. Oh, spun out! You see that? I didn't even mean to do that. What I wanted to point out here is on the side here I have this, I guess it's a B cover, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know for a fact or not, but this character on the bottom there is probably the first cover appearance of one of those new characters. But they don't, no one has said anything about that yet, so I'm kind of surprised. So like I said, there are a few first appearances in here. You have a new character called the Spider Friend, which is from kind of a sitcom kind of dimension, and I'm pretty sure that's who that character is on the cover there. You have this other one called Recluse, who is was actually a fan-made character that they made a little while ago, when they were kind of asking the public to send in their versions or new heroes for that. And then you have a female Craven that shows up in this as well too. So kind of neat. If you are a fan of the Spider-Man Spider-Verse stuff, definitely check this out. And last but not least from our books of this week, and mainly because it begins with a Z, and I quite enjoyed this as well too, is from Opus. We got Ziltoid, the Omniscient. You got Ken Sith and Kuhoi doing the art here. And I'm sorry, Kuhn. I'm sorry. I really apologize for mispronunciation of names because I'm so bad at it. Just so bad. But I enjoyed this book a lot. Very, very silly. Very, very funny as well too. Story and art. I think it could be appropriate for all ages, but again, maybe be careful on that. We've covered all these Opus books as of late, and they're kind of all over the place. They like to have a lot of rock and roll stuff in there, or metal, or music stuff in that. This is no different. This is from the creator is actually a super famous musician, and I forgot to write it down. Sorry. But in what you have here is you get this chosen kind of created guy there named Ziltorn, and he's kind of he's the only thing that's kind of saving this world or this universe from a collapse. And this guy's kind of control the space-time continuum, and the only thing that saves them and what he needs to do is get them a fresh supply of coffee. All their coffee and coffee beans have been destroyed in that world. So he's been around, or he's going to have to try and do that mission. And he also has the ability to channel and make almost like Green Lantern like structures with his guitar there. So neat little story, super super funny, and highly entertaining. So definitely check that out. Alright, so that is all the books I do have for this week. Like I said, I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope there was a little something for everything. What did you guys think of covers of the week there? What did you think those three were pretty good? Which ones is your favorite? Do you have one that's more than a favorite of your own? Do you have something else that came out this week that you thought was even better than that? Let me know. If not, I will see you guys later on. Hopefully this weekend and not if you're in the Toulon or in the Flin Flon or the Ashland area. If not, I'll see you guys next week. Talk to you later.